ladies and gentlemen, I am Francis the Bold, sitting not here, but standing upon a mountain nearby, using a peculiar mechanism that I might address you in this way. You will forgive me my distance, but I rarely enter the homes of men. I prefer the open hillsides. I prefer the wide view. And yet I speak to you. For I see here, huddled together, souls who seek. But what do they seek? I say you seek strength. I say you seek heart. I say you seek boldness in your daily lives. And so I come, entering your room, unbidden but by the medium himself. Yet welcome, for many, many, many are the groups such as this that I have entered and left, but changed. That is my function, and that is my sole intention. I have watched through the ages. I have seen souls hiding like church mice, fearing the displeasure of others. And I say, what a shame. If they only knew the torrent of power that flows through their hearts, they would never fear. They would be as lions in the path. They would roar with their intensity, and they would move forward in power and in joy. What decision is it, my brother, that you seem to take such a long time to make? And what change might it be, my sister, that you seem to let go and go and go as the days on the calendar speed by? My dear ones, I come not to chide you, and then again I do. I come not to tease you. I come to encourage you, and perhaps to prod you. For I say one thing, the thing that you seek, enlightenment, clarity, is not to be found in the valleys of fear or the caves of procrastination. Be bold. It suits you. Move forward then. You will be glad that you did. I speak not as one who is heady or intoxicated with the wine of impulsiveness. No, no. I speak as one who has watched and researched and looked very, very deeply into the soul of each one here assembled. My words are not as careless arrows shot into the air, but instead each has its mark, and I am a marksman. I was not always so. I once watched and watched and watched, while both my mother and my sister were carried off by knaves. And I was a young man, strapping and strong at the age of 16. But I did nothing. Cowardly, I cringed for fear. One of the knaves had struck me with his whip, and it was sufficient to cause me to go running off. And the screams of those that I loved as they were being taken still echo in my soul. I have forgiven myself this slight, but only because on 16 different occasions I have intervened and stopped the crime of rape. I know something of the cowardly heart. I know something of that mind that over and again talks to itself about what it should do or what it will do but does nothing. I know something of procrastination, my fallen adversary. And I know something of the boldness in your spirits and the heroes and heroines that sit before me potentially. Oh, dear ones, rise up then and make that change. You will never regret it. Do it, I say. I come not as a commander, but as an encourager. Courage, a nice word that, taken from the French word coeur, which means heart, to take art, to have art. It was I that rode the shoulders of Mr. Gibson in the making of his movie. It was I who once inhabited that body of a Mr. William Wallace, and it is I who sit before you now encouraging you to do the same. To be more than what you've been. Believe you not in evolution? Is there not a forward current to life? I say then ride it. I say then get in that river and row to your freedom, and stay not as those ashamed and regretful for what you have not done. There are hearts to be touched, indeed, but not by weak hands. There are lives to be changed, yea, but not by weak mouths. No, no, my dears. Rise up now. Cast off this weakness once and for all, I pray you. It serves you not. It becomes you not. It is as one beautiful, but wearing ragged clothing. I am not here to embarrass you. I am here to remind you. I am not here to make you think, oh, and who is this one who comes speaking to me as if he is better than I? For that I am not. And God knows my many faults and weaknesses to this hour. But faintness of heart is not one of them. Ye sweet sisters who sit here before me, each one saying, well, I am a woman and so and so. Do not fool yourselves. Perhaps you are the strongest of the lot. Ha! I see I have found the mark I came to reach. I see I have brought this group to a brilliant ruby red in its golden cloud of color. I see I have wreaked a change or two, and not just a few. My friends, Strength is an attribute of God. Will is an attribute of your own sweet selves, if you have it. Will you or will you not? Will I am, and will ye are, if ye but will it. For I can will nothing for you. Come then to know that the universe and the great heavens and the canopy of cosmos is peopled with great wills and valiant hearts. Won't you make a change? Come along then. Do that you have been planning. Strive for that which you have set up for yourself. And let it not be said when your beautiful lives are over, I could have, but I didn't. I tell you, there is no pain to the soul like that one. The pin of regret. Sharp and deep. Regret nothing. As you say in your world, go for it indeed. And you will not be unhappy. In most cases, it's better to act than not to act. Thus you learn, thus you grow, thus you change, and thus you acquire that which you came to acquire. Experience, why fear it? Experience, the Lord experience. I bow at his feet. For he in turn is the servant of the greater Lord, which is wisdom, who in turn serves the greater Lord, which is love. Such are my words, such my message. I leave it with you. I leave it with you. And I leave myself with you as well. For we share, you and I. In a sense, you are my past. In a sense, I am your future, if you will it. But in truth, we are two sides of the same coin. Have it as you will it. My love is with you. No matter. I live in peace, and I leave in peace, and I leave you awakened. My dear friends, this flaming visitor that's only now come to speak to you was sent here by one greater than us all. I must admit, I myself was a bit startled by his entry. You see, it had been my plan to speak to you and address you on certain topics. But lo, before I could control the medium, suddenly a comet out of nowhere seemed to come, and in a burst of flame I was replaced. Gladly I stood back and watched, as I could see his fiery presence, and then of course I saw in its trail and its wake who it was that had sent him. Perhaps the, shall I say, most beautiful aspect of this thing is that your comings and goings are known, by the great ones who inhabit the higher realms of heaven, the great masters of whom we have spoken. These ones, they know what you do, and they know where you be assembled. And so it is that apparently one of the great masters of wisdom, having viewed what was going on here this day, we always assume we've got their blessing, but are quite honored when they make it more obvious, such as today. So it was that he sent his powerful envoy, this great man, to come and speak to him. I trust none were taken aback, but rather that the essence of the lovely message will remain with you, and that it certainly bears its weight in cosmic truth. I decided to enter and say these things, partially in explanation, but partially to add to the message that which he did not say, and that is that great and holy Master that did send him did so as an act of mercy, and why he views the fact that there's been some very insidious plots, my dear friends, practiced against you, against all of you. I speak of humanity en masse, by certain great minds. I speak of great only in the sense of their ability to produce effects on the physical plane, so relatively speaking they are great, but not great in the sense of their honesty, much less their integrity or love. One can speak of Adolf Hitler as a great mind. Indeed he was, but alas, for selfish and terrible ends. So there have been such so-called great minds, most of them reborn Atlantean rulers and lords, who are with you again. Oh, now they wear their suits and ties and you do not know them, but they still control the masses, often by controlling the media, often by controlling the motion picture industry and others, the television. This is why you receive precious little, shall we call it spirituality or truth teachings, but rather what they want you to see. Terror and horror and misconceptions and deceit and the lower aspect of each one, portrayed as something glorious. To warp values and value systems, to cause humanity to go astray in its priorities and its choices in life. And one of the most insidious plots has been the, what I call it, tampering with both the masculine and the feminine rays of consciousness. In this case we shall refer to the masculine. Not only has it been portrayed as something it is not, some kind of an overbearing creature that always believes that might makes right and that what can be taken should be taken, and that he who is strongest is he who most entitled thus to rule, all of which is folly and wrong. But also that the father principle has been greatly sabotaged. And for this reason, many of you have suffered in that the father principle, manifest as your own sweet daddies, no doubt, has been tampered with to where that poor soul either was not there at all, or in being there might have even done more damage than good. And blessed be the sweet exceptions. In a sense we could say humanity lacks its fathers. Its true fathers. those men who know something of honor and strength and integrity and determination, and yet tenderness and deep compassion for the weak and the helpless. The heroes that apparently have so long been gone from the scene of society. Who are the heroes now, I pray you? Where do they live? Where do they move? They are hard to find, my dears, hard to find. And though the feminine is being attacked, God knows, in the worst ways, there's something about the mother principle that has not been defeated. She yet remains with her children, and if she can't be with them physically, she at least is with them spiritually. They've not been able to totally break that one down. Instead, they have attacked it and beat it. But I say all of it comes to naught. All of it comes to ashes. And the light of God, in the form of wisdom, replaces it all within a short decade of this day. Live for that day, dear ones. Know that it comes. Know that a lovely dawning soon approaches. And this is why this day we come to pronounce you as prophets, as was said earlier. It was my fault. Passed on the medium's lips. Prophets of a better time to come. Prophets of things that are in essence perfect and beautiful, though appearing temporarily in great dismay. So if you will, dear friends, accept your lovely robes, rise up this day in your vision and in your insight and in your courage, as this great man did ask you to do. And let us look into a lovely future, where all shall be seen with the open sense, and one upon the other ye shall be as prophets and seers, counselors and healers, and those that can do so much good, so very much more good, when your senses are free and open, that ye perceive each other's needs and are quick to answer them. God bless you. God bless you all. For I know what ye are and what ye shall become. Sir Arthur was leaving right now. He said to me, he said, God bless you for being a good spigot. Interesting word. Spigot? I think that's something where water comes out of, isn't it?